Today, I'm breaking down the real cost of living in the Philippines: rent, food, transportation, utilities, and daily expenses. These are realistic numbers based on what life actually costs for foreigners living here. Whether you're thinking about moving to the Philippines, retiring, or staying long-term with your Filipina partner, this video will show you exactly how much you need every month. Rent is the biggest variable expense, and it changes a lot depending on the city and the building you live in. Here's a clear breakdown. Low-budget basic apartment with a fan and one room. Averages around $100 to $200. Mid-range, most foreigners choose this. $260 to $430 for a studio or one-bedroom condo, with security, pool, and decent Wi-Fi. And then there is the high-end living. $520 to $860, includes newer condos, prime areas, full amenities in Manila, Cebu, and BGC. Expect to pay the higher end. Smaller cities like Iloilo, Dumaguete, or Cagayan de Oro are cheaper. Food prices depend heavily on whether you eat local Filipino food or Western-style food. Groceries per month for a single person usually costs around $100 to $170. For a couple, costs is usually $170 to $260. Local food is cheap: rice, chicken, eggs, vegetables. Imported items can quickly double your grocery bill. Eating out typically costs $1 to $2 at a carinderia. Fast food typically is $2.50 to $3.50. Mall restaurant for $1 to $9, while a Western restaurant can run you $9 to $20. If you stick to local food, you save a lot. If you eat Western every day, you'll spend similar to US prices. Now let's talk about transportation. Transportation in the Philippines is extremely affordable. Jeepney will run you about 22 cents to 35 cents. Tricycles about 35 cents for a short ride and up to $1 for a long ride. Taxis typically $2 to $3, or take a Grab, which is their Uber. Short trips $3, long trips $3 to $7. And to the airport, around $7 to $14 on the average. If you live near a mall or in the city center, transportation stays cheap. If you rely on Grab daily, expect to pay around $85 to $170 per month. Now, utilities. This is where costs can surprise foreigners. On the average, light usage is around $35 to $75. Evening air can $70 to $90. Heavy air can $120 and up. Electricity is one of the most expensive utilities in the Philippines, with water being very cheap, $2 to $5, internet $17 to $31, SIM and data $5 to $10. Next up we have lifestyle expenses. Lifestyle varies by person, but here's a general idea. Gym membership $17 to $43, movies for $1 to $6, and with one of my personal favorites, weekend getaways, averaging only $14 to $34 per day. More if you're traveling far or booking beach resorts. The Philippines has endless ways to spend money, but also endless free or cheap things. Here's what actual monthly budgets look like. Bare minimum basic lifestyle, $380 to $520. Simple apartment, local food, minimal travel, comfortable, most foreigners, $600 to $860. Good condo, eating out sometimes, some travel, high comfort lifestyle, $1,000 to $1,500 and up, but with newer condo, frequent malls. Western food, regular travel. Your spending depends 100% on your lifestyle. Another part of the cost of living in the Philippines that most foreigners don't talk about is the hidden monthly expenses, the ones you don't think about until you're actually living here. For example, water delivery. Almost every household here orders large jugs of drinking water. A 5-gallon jug usually costs around 50-70 pesos, or about 85 cents to $1 United States dollar and 20 cents. Most couples go through for 2 jugs a month, so you're looking at roughly $5 to $7 USD, not a big expense, but something to include in your budget. Then there's mobile data, unlike in the US where you pay $50, $80 for a phone plan. Here you can survive on prepaid data for around 300,500 pesos a month, which is about $5 to $9. But if you're a creator or remote worker, you'll likely need more data or dual SIM plans, which could bring you to $12 to $15 monthly. Another forgotten cost is Lazada and Shopee, the online shopping apps. They are cheap, almost too cheap. You'll find yourself paying $1, $3 for random gadgets, kitchen tools, or home items, and suddenly you've spent $20, $30 in a month without even noticing. There's also the occasional barangay fee, printer fee, SIM card registration, and more small things, usually under $1 or $2, but they add up. So while the Philippines is affordable, these little monthly costs are part of the real lifestyle here that most foreigners don't discuss. Let's talk about lifestyle and entertainment costs, because this is where the Philippines can either be incredibly cheap, surprisingly expensive, depending on how you do it. If you're into simple dates like mall walking, grabbing a milk tea, or eating street food, you can go out with your partner for around 300 to 500 pesos, which is $5 to $9 for both of you. Honestly, some of the best dates here are the cheapest ones. But if you go to more Western-style restaurants, the price jumps quickly. A meal for two at a nicer restaurant might cost 1,200 to 1,800 pesos, or $20 to $30 USD, still cheaper than the US, but expensive by local standards. Here's where many foreigners get surprised: imported goods and Western comfort items. Things like cheese, cereals, deodorant, skin products, snacks, or anything imported can cost 2 to 3 times US prices. For example, a box of cereal is around $8 to $12, imported cheese $7 to $15, American deodorant $5 to $7. So if you stick to local food and local habits, life is extremely affordable. But if you keep Western taste buds and Western shopping routines, your budget can look very different. The Philippines can be very affordable or surprisingly expensive, depending on how you choose to live. Rent, electricity, and Western food are the biggest expenses. Local food, public transport, and daily life are extremely cheap. If you're planning to move here, understanding these costs will help you build a realistic budget and avoid surprises. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos about life, dating, and travel in the Philippines.